or elementary D. We're going to start. So today's goal, sorry, I hope you did it, is explaining the conflicts that caused the end of the Incas Empire. So remember that last class we talked about all these things, all these new roles that were causing people to believe like, my government is authoritarian. It's very pushy, it's mean. They felt that the government was like that, right? And why was that? Because the power was only for one person, the Sapa Inca. He was in charge of everything. He had all the power, so he made all the decisions by himself, yes? Now, there's something opposite to that, to a government that only has one person in charge, has all the power, and makes all the decisions by himself. I don't know if you remember, we saw it last semester. Do you have any idea? Starts with an A. So what's the opposite of an authoritarian government? I hope you got it. It's an assembly. Yes, of course. Because remember, there was this collective meeting where they all will discuss and get to an agreement into finding a solution or making a complicated decision. So that's the opposite. I hope you did it. Now, we were checking the conflicts inside. Now I'm gonna start telling you the story about another conflict that they had again inside going on. So, do you remember we had this map? You have it in your notebook, right? And we colored some things that we didn't know yet what they were, but now we're gonna learn it. So, if you check on Ecuador's territory, on today's Ecuador territory, you can see we had somebody called Tupac Inca in charge. And then we also have somebody called Huayna Capac. We're going to see who these were. So first, the Tupac Inca that is referring to is Tupac Yupanqui. So he was the Sapa Inca in Ecuador, right? He was in charge. He was the boss, Tupac Yupanqui. So what happened is that Tupac Yupanqui had a baby. Yay! Of course, the baby didn't look like that. And his baby, of course, his name was Huayna Capac. So that's why in your map, we have Tupac Inca and Huayna Capac, because he was the father, and eventually when Huayna Capac grew up, he was also the Sapa Inca. He was also in charge. But then, of course, Tupac Yupanqui died. He was already an old man, so he died. So at that moment, Huayna Capac was in charge of everything. He was our new Sapa Inca, right? Now, do you remember we had some cacicazgos, like the Cañaris, Caranqui, Cochasqui? Well, all these cacicazgos came together. They joined. So cacicazgo plus cacicazgo plus cacicazgo equals what? Cling! Yay! A confederation. So they were a very strong confederation. If you answer correctly and you are also answer about the assemblies, you are on fire today. So yes, they became a confederation. That means they were together, right? So Huayna Capac wanted their territory, right? Because he was gaining all these territories, and he saw their territory and he thought, So he said, as we know, like he sent them a gift, like, do you want to join the empire? And the Cañaris were like, no, we don't want to. So he was like, oh, okay, then that means war. We're gonna fight. And they were like, let's fight. So the fighting began. It was madness. Many of the fights, the Cañaris actually won because they were so brave. Their warriors were so brave. But as we know, the empire had a huge army, huge. So eventually they got, of course, more army involved, and it was a bit easier to win because even though the Cañaris were very brave, they had no chance against that huge army. So they were killed. But the story says that they were killed next to a huge lake. And because there were so many of them and they were just next to this lake and everybody, all the bodies went in there, the water was full of blood. It was full of blood. So the lake was red because of the blood, of course, the color. So that's why this lake that is in Imbabura is now, it's still known as Yaguaracocha. Because jaguar, it's blood, and cocha, it's lake. So this is Yaguaracocha, the lake of blood, because of this story. Of course, the lake does not look like that right now. Of course not. That's an actual picture of the lake. It's in Imbabura. If you ever get the chance to visit, go. It's very pretty. So that's Yaguaracocha. So, do you remember that you had to do, you had type of alliances, right? You could, of course, you could get an agreement, or you could also go to war, or you could also marry, right? Marry somebody. So this is what happened. So Huayna Capac won the war. So in order to seal that deal, to have this confederation for the empire, he got married. And he got married to the princess of the Cañaris. The princess name was Quilago. Quilago means like leader woman, powerful woman, very strong. She was the princess. So Quilago married Huayna Capac. And Quilago plus Huayna Capac equals what? What do you think? Well, yes, they had a baby. And this baby was going to be called Atahualpa. And then Atahualpa, no, there's nothing wrong with your video. It's just that you're going to learn the rest of the story next class. Yay! So, the activity I want you to do for today is to create 3 episodes for this story. So, you're just going to summarize this into 3 episodes. I'm going to show you my sample notebook, okay? So, in my sample notebook, what I did, I created 3 episodes. So I have the first episode with the territory, with Tupac Yupanqui, and then Huayna Capac. Then I have the war between Huayna Capac and this confederation. And then I have Yaguaracocha, where you can see it's getting all the blood. And then I have the 3rd episode where Huayna Capac marry Quilago, and they have Atahualpa. Okay, so I have the 3 episodes we've learned today of this story. I just put them together with some tape on the back, as you can see. Just remember to leave some room in between the cardboard paper, because it's easier for it to fold. Just like our timeline, you might remember, okay? Now, if you want to do the 3 episodes, but you want to write the story, you can also do it. I know, Nico, you're going to do that. So you can write episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3. It's okay to write or to draw, okay? As long as you have the 3 episodes. If you want to do it in a different way, that's also okay. It's up to you. All right? So for this class, you're not going to send me any evidence either. So don't worry about it, okay? I love you, babies. I hope you had fun. And I hope you're waiting to hear what happened next, because it's very interesting. So, love you, babies. Bye-bye.